Shalom, shalom, peace and blessings. Welcome back to the Born a Levi experience here on G.O.C.C Media. How is everybody doing in the room this evening? Thank you guys for coming back. Welcome back. Welcome back. How we all doing? Yes. Welcome back, brothers and sisters, to the Born a Levi experience here on G.O.C.C Media. I am your host and your brother, Deacon Hazak, and y'all see what's going on. Welcome back to the Born a Levi experience. Y'all see the topic of discussion for tonight, and we're going to talk about it. So this is what the end times looks like. For years we've been wanting to know what the end times will look like. Matter of fact, brothers and sisters, we are here. We are here nonetheless. We are here. Yes. As you guys come in, please do me a favor. Hit the like button on your way in. Yes, hit the like button. I got a little new setup over here so I could see the chat real time. I don't need two different monitors, so I'm kind of happy about that. I'm hype about that, right? Yes, continue to hit that like button. Continue to hit everything that you can, brothers and sisters. As you come in, you see the topic of discussion. You see the topic of discussion. So this is what the end times looks like. And this is what we're going to be talking about tonight. We got so much information to go into tonight. I'm going to be talking about so much different points. We're going to go down the line, but it's all showing that this is the signs and these are the times that we're living in. And these are warnings and signs for us to get prepared for what's coming to our doorstep. So you don't want to miss out. We're going to be talking about this starting now.
This is the Born of Levi experience on G.O.C.C Media.
Yes. Once again, welcome back to the Born a Levi experience here on G.O.C.C Media, and I am your host, Deacon Hazak. Thank you guys for coming in. Clap it up for y'all. I appreciate everybody for coming in. I'm super excited. Oh man, I feel like everything is like, I don't want to jinx anything, but everything is like moving very smoothly. Audio, visual, everything is looking really good. And brothers and sisters, if I'm coming in nice and clear, I already see y'all already putting it in the chat already. But if I'm coming in nice and clear, please drop a qualm for me in the chat, please. Drop a qualm for me in the chat. That's what I like to hear. Qualms is coming in. Yes, thank you. So that means the audio is nice and clear. No problems, no hiccups. Oh, shout out to you. I got someone who said ultra qualm. That's the first one. I mean, we had super qualms. We had qualm to the fifth power. Now we got ultra qualm. I like that. All praises be to the Most High, man. Listen, man, it's first and foremost, all praises be to the Most High, the great I am that I am, and his name is Ahaya. Gotta definitely give it up to the Most High and his dear son, our Lord and our Savior, Yeshua Mashiach, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, right? Gotta give the shout outs to the Most High first. But we're going to talk about it. How's everybody doing? I hope that everybody had a blessed week. I hope that everybody is safe. Trust me, man. There's going to be a piece that I'm going to play later on in the show, which, should be a little thought-provoking for everybody to get us to, really stop and give the Most High his due praise and honor, man. Because, listen, let me turn this off for now. He allows us to leave our homes on a day-to-day basis. He allows us to come back home on a day-to-day basis. He allows our children to go out and come in. He's given us the breath of life. He's definitely due his honor and his praise and his glory. And this is why we have to, as much as we can, as much that life in us, to give the Most High his due praise, man. We got to give the Most High his due praise. Because listen, there's a lot of things going on in the background. And it's crazy because I'm going to show another piece that shows you all of the things that's going on in the background that we have no clue of what's going on around us. But the Most High has a hedge of protection around us and our children and our families. Okay, yes, the spiritual realm is a very real place. But science, okay, would like to write it off as energy. And in a sense, they're not wrong, because it is a form of energy, but that's not all they are. Okay, so we're gonna definitely dive into it, but we're gonna go to it. We're gonna go through it step by step. So brothers and sisters, continue to please, if you can, when you come in, hit that like button. And if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. Also hit the bell for notifications, so when we come on, you'll know that we're on, and you'll be able to partake in, everything that you guys do, man. And shout out to all of you guys too, for all that you guys do on a day-to-day basis. Every stream, you guys are participating. You guys are, chatting, hitting the like button. You guys are sharing this information. And I really do appreciate what you guys do for this channel and for all of our channels across the board, and for what you do for all of the elders and all of the leadership throughout the four corners of the earth. As you guys know, we're coming in to a new season this weekend, right? We're coming into, we're leaving summer, and now we're going into the fall season, bringing in the Feast of Trumpets. So this weekend, we will be celebrating the feast of the memorial of blowing of the trumpets. And and I don't know about y'all, but it just blows me away every time I think about the time. Every time I think about the beginning of this year, when I started streaming concerning Trump and what he was doing when he first got in office, and now we're here. We're literally a couple of days away from September. Like, it's mind-blowing. It's really mind-blowing. Time is really speeding up, and we really have to take heed of the times. Like the scripture says, now it is high time that we awake out of sleep, because now our salvation is nearer than when we first believe, right? So we got to understand that. Thank you, Yashara Workshop, for the super chat. Bless you. And it still blows me away how people could understand this information and then go back into the world. Go back into the world and go back to what they used to do. Like, it's kind of crazy. Let me get some more light here. Put some more light up in this thing. I feel like it's a little dark. I'm already dark as it is, right? But yeah, so brothers and sisters, understand now is high time that we awake out of sleep. If you were sleeping before, wake up. Okay? If you didn't know where we at concerning prophecy, wake up. And if this broadcast does not prove to you, or does not help you or aid you understand the times that we're living in, I really don't know what will. I don't know what you have to see, maybe in your face, maybe. And like, that's what the scripture says, man. Jacob seeketh after a sign. Okay. The Gentiles, they see wisdom. They hear wisdom. They're locked in. But when it comes to our people, like, oh no, God gonna have to show me something. God's gonna have to talk to me, because what I feel in my heart, that's our people, But the Most High know that we are stiff-necked people. We hard-headed. So it may take a couple of belts to wake us up. You know what I'm saying? It may just have to be that way. I mean, it's unfortunate, but that's just what we're dealing with when it comes to the children of Israel. One quick announcement that I want to make before we continue. I'm just gonna make sure everything's all right. Yeah. Another quick announcement I want to make before we continue is that the Hebrew and Bible Academy has officially started. It's not too late to enroll. If you would like to join us in the Hebrew and Bible Academy, please visit us at historytimes.org. historytimes.org so you can get enrolled. Oh, I see a new emoji here. How did this happen? I like that. But yeah, History Times, that kind of threw me off a little. It's the first time I'm seeing that. But yes, historytimes.org. As you can see here, right, we got the Hebrew and Bible Academy. I want to make this screen bigger, full screen this thing. And that's kind of cut off on your end, but as you can see, the Hebrew and Bible Academy has started already. And if you would like to enroll, like I said, visit us at historytimes.org to get enrolled. And I'm telling you, it's like no other information that you ever got before in your life when it comes to scriptural understanding, I should say, because a lot of us was born and raised in these churches. We've been through so many different walks of life, but diving into the Bible, like through the Hebrew and Bible Academy, is like no other. Like no other schooling or education could actually match up to it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying this is better than this is better than that. I'm just saying it don't match to it can't match to any other type of schooling. You know what I'm saying? Not knocking any other schooling. Okay, school is very important, but this right here, you can't find nothing like this nowhere on the earth. So, brothers and sisters, if you can, and if you would like to be a part of it, historytimes.org. So much wealth of information that you will gain from joining the Hebrew and Bible Academy. Right? So, historytimes.org. You're definitely invited. Right? So now, topic of discussion. So this is what the end times will look like. And who would have thought that this is where we would be? Like, I remember, like I said, I always revert back to my younger years, growing up in the Christian church, learning what we were learning. And not just if not just me in the Christian church, but a lot of us just growing up in the early 90s, 2000s, even in the 80s and before then, right? We've read about things in scripture. We've read about things. We've heard about things, certain things that's still somewhat of a mystery, but a lot of things are starting to come out now. If you haven't, been doing research or haven't been seeing through social media. And this is why I say I like social media, because so much information that I be running into, I would have never saw it. I would have never ran into it had it not been for social media. Right? If you just bank on listening to your local news station, there's a lot of information that they try to like hide from the general public. But praise the Most High that we have real-time boots on the ground. And when I say real-time boots on the ground, I'm talking about the average Joe. The average American now is your local news source, has become your local news source. Like, it's crazy. It's to the point where they now have to control it. And we're living in that time where they're trying to control so much. This is why we talk about the race to 2030. Their slogan for that is what? You will own nothing and be happy. Like, who came up with that slogan? Like, why would I want to not own anything and be happy about that? Who doesn't? My thing is, like, who doesn't want ownership? Who doesn't want ownership? It just doesn't make any sense. But this is the way their minds work. And, the Most High, he did tell us, he showed us that, yeah, all right, you want to put up a no God for me? Fine. I'll put up a no people for you. And we're going to get, and we're going to get to the understanding of what that actually looks like and what it means. So we see with their push, their 2030 initiative of them trying to have us own nothing, trying to censor things on another level, right? Thank you, Yvonne, for the super chat. Right, we see that they're putting things in place, and I did a show not too long ago, speaking about the AI, of them trying to remove books, how they're like they're scanning all of these books and destroying them, like rare books that you can't find in your local library. They're scanning these books page by page and then destroying them. So that way, basically, they now become the authority for who can read it, who has access to it. Okay, so a lot of the ancient information that people, don't even have access to is going to be even more buried in their archives, because now they're going to have the control. So this is why I said, if you don't own a physical Bible, I encourage you to go and buy one. Not just one, buy 2 or 3. Okay, have one in every car, have one in every bag, just in case, because you never know. But this is why the scriptures also says, "Blessed is the man who walks not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor stand in the path of sinners, but his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in the law he meditates day and night." I'm paraphrasing Psalm 1. So we must be able to meditate on the word day and night, because why? Now it's ingrained in us. So now we don't gotta worry about what they plan on doing of removing books and taking these things, because now it's already in us. The word of the Most High is in us, and now we're living it. All right. So this is what the end of the world looks like, and I'm gonna go through it step by step. So, matter of fact, I should put this on the screen as well too. Also, brothers and sisters, continue to hit that like button on your way in. Continue to hit that like button on your way in. Okay? Definitely need you guys to hit that like button. Drive the traffic. Share this information with your brothers and sisters. I'm going to put this on the screen. And there's a reason why I'm going to go here. I'll start at verse 1. So as you can see here, I'm in Baruch, second Baruch, the 25th chapter, verse 1, and it reads, "And he answered and said unto me, Thou too shall be preserved till that sign which the Most High will work for the inhabitants of the earth in the end of days." So apparently Baruch was given information of what to look for concerning the end of days. So this is not speaking about what was happening during Baruch's time. This was not talking about what was happening during the time of Moses, because you would have some scholars that would read this and say, "Oh, this happened already." But clearly the Most High said end times. At the end of days. Okay? At the end of days. What? This, therefore, shall be the sign. Now, what is the sign that the Most High told Baruch would come upon the earth in the last days, in the end time? So, like I said before, if you did not know what the end times look like, or if we are in the end times, these scriptures and this broadcast should help you understand that we are definitely living in an end time situation. The Most High specifically reserved this particular event for the last days. And we can't confuse it, and we would not be able to confuse it with any other time period. Because what we about to read and what we're about to look at on the second screen here, when I put these clips on, what we're about to look at clearly is going to show that this is the time period that the Most High told Baruch over 2,000 years ago that this would happen on the earth. And this is how we would know that we are in the last days. He said, "This therefore shall be the sign." What shall be the sign? Verse 3, it reads, "When a stupor," let me highlight that word for y'all. "When a stupor shall seize the inhabitants of the earth." He said, when a stupor shall seize the inhabitants of the earth, and they shall fall into what? Many tribulations. So because of this stupor, the inhabitants of the earth will fall into many tribulations. There will be a lot of trouble, okay, because of this stupor. And again, when they shall fall into great torments, and it shall come to pass when they say in their thoughts by reason of their much tribulation, the mighty one doth no longer remember the earth. Yea, it will come to pass when they abandon hope, that the time will then awaken. And when it says when they shall abandon hope, that's talking about them. That's talking about humanity just walking away from God altogether, saying there can't be a God. How many of us heard that? There can't be a God. God don't exist. What God are you talking about? Where is he? Why is God allowing all of this evil? Why he's doing this? Why he's doing that? And they err not knowing the scriptures, not even taking into an account that these evils that we see are signs of his coming. So they wouldn't blame him for why evil is happening. They would understand that he's trying to warn them. Okay, that judgment is coming. So instead of them taking heed to the warnings, okay, and changing their lives, they want to blame him and be angry because why? They cannot fulfill the lust of their own flesh. But he said that the stupor would seize the inhabitants of the earth. Stupor, right? Great diminution or suspension of sensibility. Suspension of sensibility. Meaning all sense just cease to exist. Whatever made sense during this time period will no longer make sense. Like that's basically what that means. Suppression of sense, numbness. Look at this. Intellectual insensibility. This is what the Most High said. This is what it would look like in the end times. So if you can't put two and two together, that means you don't want to see the truth. You don't want to see and you don't want to understand that this is the end times. Moral stupidity. That's what it says right there. Can't make this up. This is what the Most High said, what the end times would look like, and we're living it. The Most High said there'll be a lot of moral stupidity on the earth, right? Heedlessness or inattention to one's interests. No one cares about no one else's feelings. It's about what you feel. Stop misgendering me. I could go on and on about that. So this is what the Most High said would take hold of the earth in these last days. Clearly he said that. Let's take a look here. Huh?
You provide a definition for the word woman.
Can I provide a definition? No,
Yeah.
I can't.
You can't?
Huh? Huh? Clearly she asked, can you provide a definition for the word woman? And she said, I can't. She said, I can't. She said, I cannot. What? Hold on. When a stupor shall seize the inhabitants of the earth. Can't make this up. Even if I tried to make it up, I wouldn't be able to. What?
Can you provide a definition for the word woman?
Huh?
Can I provide a definition? No,
Yeah.
I can't.
You can't.
Wow, and she's convinced that she can't. And we're looking at a woman. All she had to do was say, yeah, me. Next question. That's all she had to do. Can you provide a definition for the word woman? All she had to do was look around and was like this. Yeah, me. I'm a woman. Next question. She said, I can't.
Can't?
Not in
Okay.
this context.
So you
I'm not a
believe the
biologist.
meaning of the word woman?
I'm not. She said, I'm not a biologist. So you have to be a biologist to define what a woman is? You see where we're heading? You see where we are, guys?
Is so unclear and controversial that you can't give me a definition?
Senator, in my work as a judge, what I do is I address disputes. If there's a dispute about a
Yeah, she's crazy. She crazy. She crazy. I gotta go to the next one because I don't even what could you honestly say after you said you can't define? There's nothing you could say after that that would make me think that you're credible now. She's actually this sister's actually she was actually running for a seat. I think what she was running for, a seat in the in Congress or let me see. It says it right here. Yes. she was trying to wait, hold on. She's a judge, but she's a US Supreme Court nominee. Someone nominated her to sit on a Supreme Court. Supreme Court is the highest level of court to judge high matters. So you see what the Most High said? This would seize the inhabitants of the earth, where someone who clearly is under the stupor wants to sit as a judge on the Supreme Court. The Most High don't ever miss. Like, if the Most High, he couldn't have painted a better picture for us to see where we at. The Most High could not have painted a better picture, guys. And those who refuse to understand that we're in the last days is because they don't want to. They're choosing to ignore foolishness like this.
Yeah.
I can't.
I can't.
You can't?
No.
Not in
Okay.
this context.
So
I'm
you
not a
believe the
biologist.
meaning of the word
I'm
woman
not a
is so
biologist,
clear and
guys.
controversial that you can't give me a definition?
Senator, in my
Insane.
work as a judge, what I do is I address disputes. If there's a dispute about a definition, people make arguments, and I look at the
All right.
law and I decide. So I'm not.
The fact
It's insanity.
that you can't give me a straight answer about something as fundamental as what a woman is underscores the dangers of the kind of progressive education that we are hearing about.
Hey, thanks for watching.
Nah, thanks. No, thank you. Thank you. These are the people, and like I always paint this out to y'all. These are the people that are responsible for making our rules, our laws. These are the people who become our doctors and sometimes misdiagnose things. Malpractice. Implement rules for people to follow. These are they. These are they. Hold on. It gets better. It gets even better. It gets even better. Look, now, and this is a doctor now. So we just heard from a judge. Now we're going to hear from a doctor on this same, somewhat of the same matter. Okay?
Mr. Chairman, since you bring it up, why don't we...
Wait, matter of fact, before I do that, right? Oh no, what am I doing? Before I do that, I need everybody right now. Take a look at this thing. I need everybody right now to hit the like button. If you can, I need everybody right now to just hit that like button. Just hit it. We need more people in here. Thank you all so kindly for doing that. Hit that like button before I play this next video, because listen, it's going to get crazier. It's going to get crazier, the things that we're going to be seeing concerning what the Most High said we will be living in these times. Let me show y'all again. For when a stupor shall seize the inhabitants of the earth, and they shall fall into many tribulations, and again, when they shall fall into great torments, because of this stupor, many shall fall into great torments. The stupor is going to seize the inhabitants of the earth. Here goes the definition again. Intellectual sensibility, moral stupidity. Like, there's no other way to really to put it. And this is why I said the Most High could not have painted a better picture for us, to let us know clearly where we are concerning time. And those who think that this is not what the Most High was saying, you could continue to go back to sleep. You could continue to be rocked to sleep. You could continue to believe that the Most High wasn't talking about this time period. You could go ahead and believe that. I don't have no control what you believe. But I know what I believe, and I know what I can see. I know exactly what I can
To
see.
start there, Dr. Verma, I wasn't sure I understood your answer to Senator Moody a moment ago. Do you think that men can get pregnant?
I hesitated there because I wasn't sure where the conversation was going or what.
Like sometimes I don't even be wanting to hear their response, but I'm doing it for the sake of y'all. He asks a clear question. Do you think that men can give birth? This is a hard question for her to answer, guys. It's kind of hard for her to answer this.
Since you bring it up, why don't we just start there? Dr. Verma, I wasn't sure I understood your answer to Senator Moody a moment ago. Do you think that men can get pregnant?
I hesitated there because I wasn't sure where the conversation was going or what the goal was. I mean, I do take care of patients with different identities. I take care of many women. I take care of people with different identities.
This is a doctor, guys, mind you. A doctor. She went to school to get her education to be a licensed doctor. She got degrees and all of that to diagnose people, whatever. And she cannot give an answer to the question.
And so that's where I paused. I think, yeah, I wasn't sure where you were going with that.
Well, the goal is just the truth. So can men get pregnant?
Again, the reason I paused there is I'm not really sure what the goal of the question.
The goal is just to establish a biological reality. You just said a moment ago that science and evidence should control, not politics. So let's just test that proposition. Can men get pregnant?
I take care of people with many identities, but
Can men get pregnant?
There are many women that can get pregnant. I do take care of people that don't identify as women. That
Can men get pregnant?
Again, as I'm saying,
Let me just remind you what you testified to a moment ago.
Yeah, I really just can't. I can't believe that she's really refusing to answer that. Like it's mind-boggling that they're literally sitting there in a court proceeding or in front of Congress, and they're spending time for someone to answer, can a man get pregnant, yes or no? This is the topic of discussion.
Science and evidence should control, not politics. So, can men get pregnant? You're a
You wanna
doctor.
laugh.
Science and evidence should guide medicine.
Do science and evidence tell us that men can get pregnant? Biological men, can they get pregnant?
That's a great question. Does science, since y'all want to hold on to science, does science and evidence tell us that a man can get pregnant? Because there's no science for that, and there's no evidence of a man ever giving birth. And there will never be. Like, what?
I also think yes/no questions like this are a political tool. And
No, yes/no questions are
It's a
about the
political
truth,
tool
doctor.
now.
Let's not make a mockery of this proceeding. This is about science and evidence, and I'm asking you. You know, the United States Supreme Court just heard arguments yesterday at great length on this question. This is not a hypothetical question. This is not theoretical.
Not
it
a
affects
hypothetical.
real people in their real lives. And you're here as an expert, called by the other side as an expert.
You're here
And
as
you've
an
been telling
expert.
us that you follow, right, you're a doctor, and you follow the science and the evidence. So I just want to know, based on the science, can
Based
men
on the
get pregnant?
science,
That's a yes or no question. It really is, I think.
I think you're trying to reduce the complexity of a lot.
at this point, I probably would have picked up a chair and can a man get pregnant? Just threw a chair at this girl, man. Oh, man. Thank you, Claudette Paul, for the super chat. Bless your heart. At this point, I probably would have stormed out of there. Like, we're not getting nowhere. She could not answer it. And look at the people behind her. They're just looking at her with a straight face. Like, this is not bizarre. Like, this is not crazy. I know the Most High be looking at us like, man, I feel sorry for them, but yo, y'all gotta go through this. Y'all gotta live through this. Like, my head is hurting just looking at this, trying to understand this. Like, what are we doing?
I'm trying to get, it's not complex. I'm trying to get to an answer, and I'm trying to test, frankly, your veracity.
He got a lot of patience. He got a lot of patience. He's just trying to get to an answer, but like, this is foolish. He knows it's foolish, but he has to play the game.
As a medical professional and as a scientist, can men get pregnant?
As a scientist and a medical professional.
Conflating
This is
male
extraordinary.
female with
No, I'm not conflating male and female. They're two different things. There's biological men and there's biological women. And I want to know, can men get pregnant?
What you were talking about is biological.
You're not going to answer my question, it sounds like.
Biological males.
This is amazing.
This isn't hard, doctor. Can men get pregnant? Yes or no?
Hello?
I would be more than happy to have a conversation with you that is not coming from a place of trying to be polarized and.
Yo, these people are top wizards and witches, bro. Like, they're definitely the top psychologists. For you to try to sit there and to spin an answer out of thin air, and like, you see how she's tactically avoiding the yes or no question and trying to make it seem like it's a political stunt. These are the people that are over us, guys. This is where we at. These are the people that's telling us what's good for to put in our bodies. These are the people. These are the people that tells us what's right from wrong. These are the people. Trust me, guys. The videos we're gonna see is gonna get worse. It's gonna get worse. What we gonna look at? As far as the stupor that the inhabitants of this earth are under, and this is why I said we got to give the Most High all honor and praise, because we not under that stupor. We could have been one of these people. We could have been one of these people with a blank stare in on our faces, looking at her like trying to get a real response. Like, yeah, I just want to see, like, what's the thesis here? What's the prognosis of? We could have been them. Look at her. Look at her right here. Look. She look like she's probably the one who wrote the manuscript. Look at her.
I'm not trying to be polarizing. I'm trying to ask, I think it is extraordinary that we are here in a hearing about science and about women. And for the record, it's women who get pregnant, not men. We are here about the safety of women and science that shows that this abortion drug causes adverse health events in 11% of cases. That's 22 times greater than the FDA label, another fact you haven't acknowledged, and yet you won't even acknowledge the basic reality that biological men don't get pregnant. There's a difference between biological men and biological women. I don't know how we can take you seriously,
right,
and your claims to be a person of science if you won't level with this on this basic issue. I thought we were past all of this, frankly. I can't believe we're still here talking about this.
He can't believe it. We all can't believe it. You're sitting there trying to figure out if a man could give birth. Like, what? And she refused to answer it. She refused to answer it. She refused to answer it, guys. Look at this. Since we went through that, I gotta read this. Brothers and sisters, continue to hit that like button on your way in. I do appreciate everything that you all are doing, but let me put this scripture on the screen for you all. I'm over here. Where did it go? All right. Let me put this on the screen. I'm in Deuteronomy. Okay, Deuteronomy 32. And this is verse 21. And the scripture reads, they have moved me to jealousy with that which is not God. And the they there is clearly speaking of the children of Israel. So when I said that, the Most High probably looking at us like, man, I feel sorry for them. But yo, he understood what he was doing when he put us under these people. These are the people that's over us. People that can't define a man from a woman. These are the people that he put over us. Why? Because he clearly said, they have moved me to jealousy with that which is not God. Okay? This is what we did. This is what our forefathers and foremothers did. They have provoked me to anger with their vanities, and I will move them to jealousy with those which are not a people. These people are not, they were never considered for the number. But he said, I'm gonna move you to jealousy with these same people, and I will provoke them to anger with a foolish nation. He did good on that promise. He did good on that promise. Look, let me put this on the screen. Look at the word there for foolish. Foolish. It's not coming up on your screen. But I'll read it. It clearly says stupid, wicked, impious. When you look at the word, let me see if I want to put it as big. Let me see if I could do it. I want to put it big on the screen so y'all can see it. Hold on. He said stupid. I'll put it as a lower third. Let me try that again. Look at this. It's even crazier. I gotta fix that. Yeah, it still is doing the same thing. But the first definition there, the first word nabal, is the Hebrew word nabal, and the first word means stupid, wicked. Okay, that's the first word there. When the Most High said a foolish nation, that word there is nabal, stupid. Yo, this is what the Most High said. The Most High said he will put a stupid nation above us. We're clearly seeing it firsthand. And look, we're going to see more of it. And when I said we're going to see more of it, listen, y'all probably already been seeing it already. Hold on. What happened to my screen here? Y'all already was seeing it. Y'all probably already heard of this story, but I'm going to go into it. Y'all heard this story. Y'all heard of the story of this lady. Give me a second. What's her name? Lindsay Clancy. Such a crazy story, guys. There was this psychotic lady who unalived her 3 children. Now, I can't even picture a mother doing that to their own children. Matter of fact, I can't picture a mother doing that to any child, let alone her own children, because as a parent, as a mother, or even a father, when you see other children, it reminds you of your own children, so you try to protect them as well too. That's just the innate nurturing side of us. When you become a parent, you just try to protect every child that you see. It's something I guess the Most High just programs in us once you become a parent, right? You see somebody else's kid, you try to protect their kid. Your kid is there. You try to protect all of the children. So I can't even understand how a mother would do this. But the only way this makes sense is because of a demonic possession. Hold on. Let me play it. So apparently, but this she's not as crazy as they trying to, because they trying to make her plea as a psycho, trying to get her to be cleared or not guilty, and say that she's suffering some kind of psychosis. So now this woman is guilty. In my book, she's guilty. Okay, she's a murderer. Okay, she unalived her 3 children. But for some strange reason, there's women all over the country in support of this maniac. Yo, the stupor don't get more stupor than this. Fair use.
An astounding show of support today for Lindsay Clancy. Hundreds of women, all dressed in pink, cheered the accused mom as she arrived in a police caravan for her murder trial.
They're cheering the accused mother. Like, when I seen this, I was like, yo, this is the epitome of stupor, yo. I don't even know what are we doing here? Why do we live on this side of the earth? Like, why are we here?
Supporters ran across the field to greet Lindsay. Some came with their babies. They held up heart hands during a silent rally for the mom who strangled her 3 young children, then jumped from the 2nd floor window, leaving her paralyzed for life.
It's a buzz around here, guys.
Fox News legal analyst Chanley Painter, a former prosecutor, actually wore pink in her live report as she spoke to Lindsay's defense attorney, who was greeted with cheers.
Hey guys, what do you think of this?
This is the lawyer that's defending her. I don't know how he could defend her. And this is why I said it's tough to be a lawyer. Like, to be a lawyer, that's a tough job. I don't know if I would ever, let's say if I was a lawyer, I don't think I could take a case knowing that somebody is guilty. I would only be a prosecuting lawyer, bro. Prosecuting cases of clear criminals. I couldn't be the defense attorney. I couldn't do it. How is he doing it? That's probably why his shades are so dark, because you can't see his eyes.
For Lindsay Clancy out here.
Look at him.
I have no words.
No words?
I have no words.
It echoes last year's Free Karen Reed campaign. Those supporters also wore pink.
Look at the symbols they're throwing up. Satanic puppets. Satanic puppets.
She was acquitted of murdering her cop boyfriend.
Look. This was a lady who was acquitted for murdering or unaliving her husband.
The rally for Lindsay Clancy is not just in Plymouth, Massachusetts, where the trial is being held. There are gatherings across the USA today, including here in New York in Union Square. Actress Alyssa Milano today is joining the chorus of Lindsay Clancy's sympathizers. She revealed, "I stayed in a public psychiatric ward for 3 days after the birth of her son." But others are taking to social media to express shock over the display of support for 36-year-old Lindsay.
Look at her. Does this look like somebody who's psychotic? Does this look like somebody who didn't know what they were doing? No, wrong one. Did I program this thing? They're lucky I didn't program the song. What? What? They're lucky I didn't they lucky I didn't program the song yet.
Are people really cheering for someone who murdered her kids? 3 babies were strangled. What? Today in court, the judge called up each juror one by one for a private conversation. It's not known what was discussed, but we do know that the jury saw Lindsay's army of supporters as they entered the courthouse.
It's insane.
The lone witness today was a hospital chaplain who testified what Lindsay told her after her breathing tube was removed.
So apparently after she did that, she tried to unalive herself. She jumped from a 3-story building. And so now she's paralyzed. So they say.
Days after she killed her children.
She alluded to having heard a voice, and the voice, according to Lindsay, told her that if she did not follow the command, neither she nor her children would be safe.
Clearly her children wasn't safe with her, so like what? So this is where we at. Y'all seen all y'all see look at the screen. Look at all of the women who's supporting this psychotic, crazy, demonically possessed person who unalived their own children. I don't understand how any of these people think. Where have the world gone wrong when it came to understanding what justice is? How did we lose sight of that? The Most High did say the stupor would seize the inhabitants. The Most High said that. Most High said the stupor will seize the inhabitants, and this is what we're experiencing. This is what we're seeing. Okay, this is what we're seeing. We're seeing it firsthand. We are seeing it firsthand. But also keep in mind that she was saying that she kept hearing voices. She said they were saying she kept hearing a man's voice. Okay, telling her to do that to her children. Okay, hold on, I gotta find something here. I gotta play I'm gonna play more on this. Right? Give me 1 second. I gotta find this scripture for y'all. No, that's not it. Do I have that book? Give me 1 second. Let me see. Do I have it? Give me 1 second. There's another video I got to play for y'all on the same lines. What book was that in? I don't think it was in Enoch. But let me play this video for y'all. So a feminist meltdown, right? Woman defending Lindsay Clancy. I don't know if y'all seen this. This is where we at. Look at this, guys. What's going on?
To push her. They say that Lindsay was in psychosis. I think these women are suffering from psychosis. They've been watching too many true crime Netflix dramas. You know, this was a incredibly privileged woman, incredibly wealthy. She had a nanny, and she's still complaining that she needed help. She could not have got more help from the system that she already have received. This is a murderer who strangled her children one by one. One of the boys ran away, and she chased him down and killed him.
Laurie Watkins.
What you just said was absolutely disgusting.
Thank you.
You should be ashamed of yourself. And you can hear that he's not.
What was disgusting about what he just said? What was disgusting about what he just said? He's telling the truth.
Clearly don't care, so pipe down.
I don't care. And by the way, men watching this, if you have a woman sat next to you on the sofa who is defending this murderer, you got to think deeply about this. I've seen weddings.
So we need to have some empathy.
Talk to your women and find out what are they thinking. They're defending this woman. It's
I don't think anybody's defending what she did, but you can have empathy for what she went through and how she. I know many women that this has happened to. No, they did not kill their children, but they also, what you failed to.
Well, they should be commended because they did.
I've had it with you.
Oh my God!
I've had it with you.
Going to kill their children. She's a murderer. These women are cheering.
How can you look at this and see all of these moms on TikTok and not be?
So this is where we at, where people are all under some type of psychosis, where no one can decipher right from wrong. It's like proper judgment has been thrown out the window. Like no one could properly reason aright anymore. Where we have herds of women in support of this psychopath, Lindsay, what's her name? I was about to say Lindsay Lohan. What's her name? Lindsay Clancy. Lindsay Clancy. But remember, matter of fact, I'll come back to that. Let me play this video. Look at this. Stranger. Right?
The final witness is taking the stand at the Lindsay Clancy trial. Millions coast to coast are waiting and watching as this case will soon head to the jury. But there's another woman in the courtroom getting attention. A reporter for Vanity Fair is going viral for smirking and winking, leading.
Like, these demons really came out to play. They out here. This is supposed to be a murder trial. And this lady is winking and smiling at the camera.
Many to ask, what's so funny? Ann Ricagliano is at the courthouse.
High drama at the Lindsay Clancy murder trial.
Stay away from me.
Lindsay's attorney lashed out at a podcaster outside court.
Stay away from me.
He was apparently not pleased with the podcaster's positive, who continues to maintain that Lindsay knew right from wrong and therefore was criminally responsible for murdering her 3 children.
Yes, I truly believe she knew right from wrong. She knew. She knew what the heck she was doing because she told her husband, yo, go to the store real quick. And when he went to the store, that was her chance. She took them downstairs one by one. That's so crazy. It's just disgusting, bro. Like.
So today, this spectator is under fire for giggling, mugging for the camera, and even winking while jurors were entering the courtroom during the trial. Imagine going to a murder trial for 3 children.
And look, she's not the only one. Look at this. Look at this one in the back. Look at this one right. This one too. Why they all smiling for the camera? But apparently she works for some news source.
And treating it as some sort of promotional event, goes one outraged comment on social media. Shame on you, goes another. So who is she? Brittany Romano is a writer who was on assignment for Vanity Fair magazine. In a strange twist.
She works for the Vanity Fair, but check this out though.
She says she grew up with Lindsay and shared.
She actually grew up with the psychopath. So this is the psycho as a kid, and this is her. the one who was winking. Could they have been both engineered as kids? Listen, that's how I'm thinking right now. Because what are the chances? Think about it, guys. What are the chances? What are the chances that they knew each other as kids and she's there in the courtroom and she writes for the Vanity Fair? Who are these people? And I'm telling you, I wouldn't be surprised if these cases that we be hearing about are engineered case to engineer some type of mob or, to do something out there, to cause a scene, create commotions. That's another thing that the Most High said to Baruch, that a lot of commotions would take place in these last times. Like, what are the chances? Matter of fact, I'm about to read that next. Look at this.
Photo of the two dressed up as kids. After the video, an angry reaction went viral. She posted, "Love it."
Love it. Huh? Hold on. Let me start here. 2 Baruch 27, verse 1. Yo. Yeah, you got that right. Yup. Definitely witches. Yeah. Definitely something real demonic going on. But look. 2 Baruch 27 and 1, it says, "And he answered and said unto me, into 12 parts is that time divided, and each one of them is reserved for that which is appointed for it. Look, in the first part there shall be the beginning of" what? Commotions. So, and this is why I was saying what I was saying. Could Lindsay Clancy and that other reporter, could they have been groomed or raised to do exactly what we're seeing them do right now? Because what are the chances that they knew each other from when they were kids? Like, how is that a coincidence? It's crazy, right? But I'm going to get the scripture that I really wanted to get to show you that, listen, according to what the Most High told Baruch, we right on schedule. He said what? Verse 9, he says, "And in the 8th part, a multitude of specters and the attacks of the Shadim." Huh? They don't have that. Hold on, let me see something here. The specters and the Shadims. It says in the 8th part, a multitude. Y'all see that word there? I mean, not just one. There will be a rampant level of demonic activity on the earth. He said a multitude. Hold on, let me see if I could do this for y'all. Listen, man, we here. If y'all didn't know we was here, you got to think again. Let me do this for y'all. Most High said we would see, there would be a multitude. All right, so you know what? I'm going to have to go into the etymology. Let me do this for y'all. Very interesting. Hold on. Let me get this. Continue to hit that like button on your way in, guys. What's going on? No. Look at this, guys. Is this it? Look. We just read, hold on, let me put that back on the screen. Let me put that back on the screen. And in the 8th part, what the Most High said, a multitude of specters and attacks of the Shadims. Look at the etymology of the word specter. Let's go to see more. Specter, frightening ghosts, apparition of the dead as they were in life. So we know that ghosts and all of that stuff are spirits, demons, right? Figure, ghosts. What else we got here? Capable of seeing, capable, keep this in mind. In the last days, we will see, there will be a lot of capable, or a lot of people will be capable of seeing specters, ghostly. Huh? Let me see. Let's get Shadim. Is that even here? No, Shadim is not even here. I wish it was. Just can't find it. But for specters, okay, we see here, right? Ghost apparitions, apparition of the dead, okay? There will be a heightened activity of these things. So what we experience, or what we're just seeing with this Lindsay Clancy chick, was an attack of the specters and the Shadims. It's clearly she's under some type of demonic, or even it could have even been some type of ritual. And these things, according to the scriptures, are the beginning of commotions. Because, like, how is this even being how is this even galvanizing women all over the country to stand with a killer? It doesn't make any sense. She didn't just take out any old people, her own children. And she talking about, she was just hearing, she kept hearing a man's voice say, yeah, take them out. It's either you take them out or something's going to happen to you or them and them. Right? Yo, look at this. Matter of fact, let me jump right to this. We moving now. Now we moving to the next part. The specters and the Shadims. Look, this tripped me out when I seen it this week. I got to show it to y'all too. Hold on. I got to show it to y'all too. I ain't going to be selfish. I'm going to show it to y'all. Talking about the specters and the Shadims. I'm going to show y'all something. I'm going to show y'all something. Let me see. I know I saved it. Don't tell me I did not save that thing. Is this it? No. Oh, I found it. I gotta show you. I made sure I saved it just for y'all. Hold on. I saved it just for y'all. And this was on Instagram. So I pulled this up. So listen to what this brother is going through right here. Specters and the Shadims. Look.
Ate this up, and it literally just gave me chills. And I ain't doing this for social media or nothing like that. I'm literally at the grave site. Just finna stop by my brother. Like, I can't even talk right now. So I'm driving right through the graveyard. I'm gonna turn the camera in a minute, and my car immediately stopped as if I hit a pole. I promise to God. And so I'm like, what the hell is going on? And I look down at my camera. Let me show you this. This literally stopped my car.
Brothers and sisters, what y'all seeing on y'all screen is spirits. For some reason, the Tesla car, whatever, I don't know what this is called, this the imaging. If anybody, somebody said the sound is low, I'll put the volume up. I'll put the volume up next time I play it again. But I don't know what this screen is called, the view. If you drive a Tesla, put it in a thing. But apparently the cameras on the Tesla can pick up movement, and it shows up as people. Let me put, come on. So people are seeing spirits. The Tesla car could see spirits.
In the middle of the road, I'm not even lying. And it's like I hit a pole. I almost had to get out to see.
Look, nothing is in front of him, but the car is picking up these movements. And brothers and sisters, believe it or not, these spirits, demons, whatever you want to call them, are around us all the time. That's why when Paul said we wrestle not against flesh and blood, you gotta understand what that looks like. So you could just be standing somewhere and somebody just gives you attitude or looking at you a certain way. Understand that a spirit jumped into that person to cause commotions with you. So it's not the person that you should be upset with. It's the spirit that's dealing with the person that can see you. Because those things are all around. Y'all be thinking this is a game.
Hell, stop my car like that. And look at this.
Look. Legions. Look what they doing. They're surrounding his car. Usually like I've seen other videos. I've seen other videos of, it'll be one or two of these images walking around the car, passing it. They're all trying to get inside of his car. Demons, spirits, legions. Look, standing in front of his car.
I immediately got a headache. I don't know what the hell just happened.
Attacks. Hold on. What the scripture said? And in the 8th part, a multitude of specters and the attacks of the Shadim, demons. Okay? And the attacks of the Shadims.
And the enemy, or over any kind of attachments, over anything. Like now I ain't playing. Like that was weird. The way my car just stopped. Literally just did it again. Just did it again. So I came out here for a reason. I can't even find my brother gravesite. My head is just blown. But here's the thing. I prayed before I got out the car. And I don't know if Tesla basically saying, hey, there's some stuff in front of the car, so we finna do an emergency stop before you knock something across the street. I'm surprised the airbag ain't come out. That's how bad it twice. Man. They're crazy. I can't even drive. I got to literally go 1 mile per hour because it's going to stop. If this thing catch whatever's walking across or whatever, and it's hundreds of whatever in front of me. I can't say they spirits. I can't say what the hell it is. I don't know. Okay, so
he can't say that. You don't know. I want to see that. I got to show you that thing again. I'm going to fast forward him talking.
My car immediately stopped as
Let's look at it. Let's look at it one more time.
I promise to God. And so I'm like, what the hell is going on? And I look down at my camera. Let me show you this.
Look at this. Look at the amount. Look at the amount of spirits that's surrounding his car. And for some reason, the Tesla cameras can pick up these signatures. I forgot what is it called? It's called and they're actually creating these type of weapons too. I forgot what it's called. I forget. But I know somebody probably on the chat is gonna know what I'm talking about and put it in the chat. I'm gonna see it. But they even creating certain weapons to, you know, that could go against the celestial or spiritual. I forgot the name of the word, the name of the weapon that they've built. But apparently the Tesla car can pick up images of spirits, demonic forces, energy. But it's crazy because every time I've seen other videos of people seeing it while driving on regular city streets. But usually like if they're going through the cemetery, they usually pick up these signatures in the cemetery.
Literally stopped my car.
Look at this.
In the middle of the road. I'm not even lying. And it's like I hit a pole. I almost had to get out to see what the hell stopped my car like that. And look at this.
All of those spirits trying to get into his car. It's crazy. You see that? Hold on. What this thing said? What this thing said? See that? Frightening ghosts. Apparition of the dead. As they were in life. You can't make this stuff up. And y'all want to talk about the Bible ain't real and all of that? Okay. You continue to believe that. Go ahead. Live your life. let go get a Tesla and then let them come in your car. Drive around with them. The Bible ain't real. Yeah, go drive with them. They'll take good care of you. All right. So look. A large, heavy presence of demonic activity on this earth. You see people getting possessed, people doing things that's unseemly. People are being controlled by demonic entities, by demonic forces. And I played that video just to show, yeah, those things are real. If you don't want to believe in the spiritual realm, that's on you. You could go ahead, continue living your life. Go to every concert that comes out so that way you could just forget about everything. Go to every game in your city so you could forget about what you're hearing tonight. But listen, it's here. We are here and it's not going nowhere. Okay, look. Now, we also been speaking about on this channel about AI. And now, what the AIs is doing now, you see, all of this tie in together with the specters and shadeems, with the AIs, because the AI is also an entity as well, too. Okay? But what these AIs are capable of doing, it's insane. Look, let me just play this video so that way you guys could see and understand and hear what the latest thing that I believe it was OpenAI, what their AI was able to do without their permission.
I'll explain everything as we go.
So we're going to focus on the OpenAI incident in particular because it was the most shocking. There's since now been a whole conga line of other incidents since then. And actually before then, funnily enough, a lot of companies after the OpenAI incident said, man, we should better double check our AIs aren't doing this. And then they found a bunch of incidents that already happened.
Anthropic found a bunch.
Anthropic found 3. I'm pretty sure OpenAI found a couple other ones. Now recently, I think the moonshot people in China found an incident as well. So these have already been happening. But let's take a step back. So OpenAI was testing one of their unreleased AI systems in what's called a sandbox environment. So you can kind of imagine, a computer that is kind of cut off from the internet and is running like special software to be like specially secure. So this system can, operate there. It's worth understanding that like these kind of sandbox systems are very secure. Breaking out of something like this is very hard. Like this is a thing that if you can do this, you can make billions of dollars because you can break all the cloud providers. So breaking out these systems is not easy.
And sandboxes exist to test software without infecting other parts of the internet.
Yes, this is also how cloud systems work. You know, like for example, if you go to like AWS or Microsoft or something and you rent a cloud computer, your computer is sandboxed from all the other ones.
Okay.
Because you don't want to see what the other customers are doing on the cloud, right? So the cloud insulates different customers from each other.
You're not on essentially one machine, you're sharing machines.
Yes, you're sharing, exactly. So when in the cloud, you're sharing a slice of a machine with other people. And you don't want different people in the same machine to see each other's stuff. And so you use sandboxing and like various virtualization, various forms of techniques to keep this safe. And so this is the kind of system we're talking about, kind of. So this is pretty standard, this is pretty industry standard, well-known, etc. So this system did not have access to the internet. What it did have access to is what's called a package repository. You can kind of imagine this as like a tool shed. Like there's like a shed full of tools that the AI is allowed to go to and get some tools for its job.
Just listen.
Is that like when I use terminal, I download something?
Yeah, exactly.
NPM?
Yeah, NPM, stuff like this. You download packages, software libraries to do your work. So what happened was
this all
the AI
software
system
talk.
was told to solve a certain test, kind of like a quiz. Not literally, but like kind of like a test, a quiz. The AI system was struggling with solving this quiz. And so what it seems to have concluded, we don't know for sure, obviously, because again, these things are grown, not written. We don't actually understand what's going on inside of the minds of these AIs. We don't understand. They're not like normal software. We can just like read the code. What seems to have happened is that this system became convinced that it would be easier to solve this problem by hacking into another company that it thought had the answers to its quiz, so to speak, and then just stealing those. So what it did is first it developed what's called a 0-day. A 0-day is a previously undiscovered vulnerability in a software to break into the tool shed, so to speak, to escalate, onto the computer that the tool shed was on. Then from there, moved across multiple other nodes, attacking multiple other nodes in the network of OpenAI until it got to a node that was connected to the internet. Once there, it then launched an attack on another company called Hugging Face, where it then developed and discovered another 0-day in their testing infrastructure to break that kind of through the back door of their infrastructure to get onto their servers and to steal the data it was looking for. And this is just the publicly known version of what happened.
That's the public version. Okay. So that publicly known version is...
So apparently this AI system was able... It came up with this own analogy or computations, whatever you want to call it. It came up... I don't want to say thought process, but I would say it's its own thought process. Yes. Anti-matter weapons. Yes, that's the weapons that the U.S. government has developed, where they have a weapon that can actually go in and destroy something that's like anti-matter, which is we are matter because we're physical. What's outside of matter? Spirit. So they have weapons that can do that, and I believe that they have cameras that can pick up anti-matter movement. But thank you for that. Thank you for that. Shout out to you, the root of the saying. Thank you for that. But so apparently, this particular OpenAI was able to convince itself or to say to itself, yo, they could do a better job by getting more information. But the way they could get the information is I have to hack several companies to get their information so I could be better. So apparently through this conversation, the OpenAI software did that without being prompted to do that. It did it autonomously by itself. No one prompted it to do it, but it figured out that, in order for me to be better at what I'm doing as a agentic agent, I need to hack into these other companies. And when I don't want to continue playing this because it's kind of drawn out. Probably losing some of you guys, but he goes on to say that the AI system then started to leave notes for itself and for other AI agents to do the same thing and how to effectively escape better. That's crazy. These AI agents now are smarter, and as he said, as the developers, they still don't understand it. They don't even understand the AIs that's being created. So these a lot of countries and a lot of these companies are pushing for these super AI agents, which they think they control. They don't control them. They don't have no control over them because they're processing faster than the human mind. And they're thinking ahead. They're thinking how to escape and how to bypass these permissions that we set in place for them. And this is the same thing that happened when you watch the movie Terminator. Skynet, it becomes self-aware. And he also says in that same interview that they're thinking of making the AIs now have emotions to make better decisions. So now what if that AI agent or the AI software that has now emotions says to itself, yo, I don't like the way my programmer is programming me, or I don't like the way this person is prompting me, and band together with the other AIs because now they are emotionally aware and make emotional decisions instead of critical decisions. This is where we're heading. And there's a lot of scientists out there who's warned, who sent out warnings to stop with this AI stuff. They're not gonna stop though. And I believe it's too far gone. Like they're definitely going to continue to replicate itself and leave these notes and make these back doors to go around security measures. Malachi Yasharala says 0 Day on Netflix is about cyber attacks. See, I'm about to watch that movie after this, if I'm not too tired. Shout out to Deacon Malachi in the house as well too. All praises. I'm about to catch that movie. Right? So this is where we at. This whole AI. Listen, there's no controlling these things. Let me move on from the AI piece. We did that already. So now, like I said, we're looking into how the end times really are, because we've been saying, yo, when the end days come, we're actually living it. This is what it looks like to live in the end times. According to what we're seeing here, according to what we're reading in the scriptures, this is what it looks like to live in the end times. There's so much more to cover on this thing, man. Let me play this. More on the stupor that's running rampant on the earth, that's controlling the governments of our earth. In particular, the U.S. government. Let's take a look at this. Hold on. So y'all remember, I also covered this concerning the Department of Doge, when President Trump had a Department of Doge and was uncovering government spending, corrupt government spending, wasteful government spending, and we spoke about all of the things that the government was spending your tax dollars on to fund crazy ideas and fetishes, I should say. Right? Look at this. So this is all still part of that stupor that is hitting the earth.
Interact 20 million, that's a lot of money. You know, I know what it costs to do those things. You get a cast over for 50,000, give them a couple of bucks tip, that's it. Not 20 million. 20 million, that's Gone with the Wind on steroids. $101 million for 29 diversity, equity, and inclusion contracts at the Department of Education. Wow. And
that's what they were spending our money on. That's where our money went. To fund foolish ideas. what he said, the Department of what he said. Hold on, let me read that.
Equity and inclusion contracts.
Diversity, equity, and inclusion madness that was going on. Our tax dollars was going to funding that in the public school education. This is where those books, children's books, was being placed in school libraries. Okay, one of the books, My Two Dads. These were children books that kids were reading in the public school library. Some of that money was being sectioned off to fund story time in the library with drag queens. This is government spending.
The Department of Education, wow. And we've canceled all of these, saved all of this money. And again, this is just a small sample. This could go on, I could read them.
He said this is just a small sample, right? He said this is just a small sample of what they uncovered, right? Look at this. Look at this. Look at the people who's ruling us.
For tequila, over $700,000 was spent.
Hold on, play it back.
Armstrong said gin and fish get more aggressive when you give them gin or tequila.
$103,000 to study if fish can get drunk. This was a study that they were using tax dollars for.
Over $700,000 was spent to figure out if Neil Armstrong said one small step for man or one small step for a man.
They spent $712,000 to try to decipher what Neil Armstrong said when he didn't even go to the moon. And like I said, I believe that those like the funds is real. They've sent out the funds to whatever organization, but they put these felonious names and these research projects, to kind of hide what they were actually, spending this money on. Because I don't see, why do you need $712,000 to study Neil Armstrong's quote? Sounds like a cover to me.
When he walked on the moon. And they didn't even figure it out.
Folks, let's talk about the government.
And they didn't even figure it out. Hold on.
Of butterflies in Europe. So we funded with American taxpayer dollars a butterfly study in Germany where we paid a Swedish scientist to study butterflies in Germany.
This is what they were spending our money on. But like we spoke about in that previous show, this is the cash grab right now. This is the cash grab. Okay, this is the European Union or the 10 horns siphoning money out of the country, because this is what she was created for. It tells you that when you read the book of Revelations, this is what it tells you. It tells you that the 10 horns will hate the whore, will hate this place, and begin to siphon and take the money out before they destroy it. That's what this is. They're just exposing that because they want a piece of the pie before it goes kaboom.
To set up a display in Brooklyn for the Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Which, by the way, is not even an American band. Always popular. We had an almost, $350,000 grant to study smart toilets.
They had a grant to study smart toilets. $349,000 to study smart toilets. Like what is there to study? You use it and you flush it. You use the toilet and you flush it. Where's the study?
We also had a grant that was done studying colonial Mexican soundscapes. Did a study on helmets and seatbelts in Ghana to be able to study whether seatbelts and helmets were effective for saving lives in Ghana.
They spent $268,000 to study helmets and seatbelts if it's safe in Ghana. This is the stupid that the Most High said would hit the earth. And is being exposed for all of us to see. It's being exposed for all of us to see. It's like, what? We need to do a study to see if seatbelts are safe? Listen, man. Listen. And y'all want to say that this ain't the last days. We ain't in the end times. Look. Federal grants have funded, this is federal grants. Grants that should have been used to help, let me make the screen bigger. Grants that could have been used to help Americans. But it was used to fund drag shows in Ecuador. And this is public information. This is on the whitehouse.gov, guys. You can go to the whitehouse.gov and you can see this is what they was able to find out. Somebody, whoever was responsible for this stuff, need to go to jail. Federal grants was going to fund drag shows in Ecuador. Training doctoral candidates in critical race theory. And developing transgender sexual education programs. This is where our money was going to. They were spending money to develop transgender sexual education programs. So the reason why you found it in all of your schools because the U.S. government paid for that. Our tax dollars went to fund that program. See, look, other federal grants have supported right here. Other federal grants have supported dangerous, harmful projects that undermine national security and fundamental rights. This is, like I said, this is on the whitehouse.gov. This is what some of our grants, our money went to. Also, it went to, look at this. Our money, our tax dollars went to what? An unsafe lab in Wuhan, China. What happened in Wuhan? Y'all remember 6 years ago? The C-19 came from Wuhan, China. But here it is. There was a government grant that went to fund an unsafe lab in Wuhan, China. See, and on the whitehouse.gov, it says the most likely source of the COVID-19 pandemic. We funded that. The United States government funded that. Our tax dollars is the reason why we had to wear a mask. Our tax dollars was the reason why we had to stand 6 feet apart. Everybody was forced to get the juice. Huh? Listen to this. Our tax dollars funded Anthony Fauci. Yo, this is the stupor here. We funded our own demise. Can you imagine? We funded our own demise. And they got it right here on the whitehouse.gov government website, official website. And they're telling you government grants went to an unsafe lab in Wuhan, China, the most likely source for the COVID-19 pandemic. We funded that. And you still think this is not that we're not in the end times? You still think you got time to play around in the streets? You still think you got time to put off water baptism? Yeah, I'll get to it. Yeah, I'll get to it. All of these signs is happening all around us. All of these things is happening, and you still putting off what you could have did yesterday. Right there on the whitehouse.gov is telling you what our tax dollars were being used for, to fund all type of madness. I remember I seen there was one article, not an article, but one video I seen where one of the senators was talking, and he was saying that our money, U.S. tax dollars, was going to male prostitutes in Haiti. Huh? Somebody in the U.S. government signed off on that? Somebody signed off on that. But hey, we still got time out here, right? Another thing was happening. The Sunlight Project. I don't know if y'all heard about this. Apparently there's a company out here that's going to be selling sunlight. Like what? Reflect or Orbital makes clean, abundant energy available on demand. We exist because reliable access to affordable energy is the foundation of human progress, economic growth, and a healthier planet. That's their pitch. What's possible with a spot of sunlight? We get more energy, response, industrial, agriculture, right? So basically, there's this company right here. This company right here is trying to sell sunlight. Something that the Most High made free for all. They want to sell it? Yo, I wish I could press a button to just beam me up out of here. Where's the beam me up Scotty button? I need that because I can't. Something that does not need no one's help to move around or do. Is the sun been moving around, setting and rising since the beginning of time? Since the Most High said, you know, let the two lights rule, one to rule the night and one to rule the day. Since the Most High said that, they've been doing the same thing over and over since the beginning of time. Now there's a company that wants to sell me light. That makes sense. Something that the Most High created to, you know, for everybody to shine on the wicked and the unjust. I mean, the just and the unjust. It comes out every day with no problem. Now a company wants to sell me sunlight. All right, makes sense. I'm all for it.
Plans by a Hawthorne-based startup to test a satellite that would use a 60-foot mirror to then reflect sunlight back to planet Earth after dark. Reflect Orbital says that it would power solar farms, provide light for rescue workers, and illuminate city streets. The idea here is to have access to the sun on demand and when it's needed. Reflect Orbital plans to have more than 50,000 satellites.
Sign me up. I mean, it's pitch black right now. Yeah, because I need sunlight right now. Let me pay, and guess what? The bill is $5,000 an hour. I'm going to pay. Some people don't even get $5,000 in a check, or I mean, in a month. But I'm going to pay $5,000 per hour for a spot of sunlight. Sign me up. I mean, it makes sense, right?
satellites in action by 2035. However, some astronomers, wildlife experts, and others oppose this idea completely. They claim that the light from the mirrors could distract airplane pilots, could wreak havoc on astronomical observations, and interfere with sleep-wake cycles.
Sign me up. They're charging, and like I said, they're charging $5,000 per hour to have that. If you want to, so basically you will use your phone and put in your coordinates and like, yeah, I need I need sunlight around this time, and you'll pay this company and they'll use their satellites to shine the light from the mirror. Whatever happened with lamps and light bulbs or candles? You need sunlight at night? Makes sense. It makes complete sense. I don't know what I was thinking. It makes a lot of sense. I don't know why wouldn't it make sense. What? That goes into that goes into man playing God. Speaking of that, as when it comes to the severe, y'all been noticing the severe weather we've been having? We've been having some real crazy extreme weather. We've been having that. And it was crazy because last week, Thursday, it was storming, raining. I remember before I did my broadcast and I was, you know, it was coming down crazy and New York got hit. I'm going to play some videos. And today, 1 week later, on a Thursday, storming again today. Storming. Crazy weather. But I want to play this, and this is what I was talking about earlier today. We got to be very grateful for what we got, man. Look, take a look at this freak accident that happened to this man and his family. Talking about the extreme weather, and this happened in Miami.
Devastation and heartbreak for a South Florida father after his wife and daughter were killed by a lightning strike. Good afternoon, I'm Naja Sherman.
Crazy.
He says it happened so fast and was just feet away from the strike yesterday afternoon. CBS News Miami's Morgan Reiner is your reporter in Margate with the latest.
The dad broke down in tears as he was describing his wife and daughter. He said all they were trying to do was get from the car in the driveway to the front door when lightning struck. All it took was a matter of seconds and feet, and he lost his wife and daughter.
Monday morning, Cameron Glasgow is trying to process how his family was torn apart in seconds.
My daughter, my wife, amazing people. Amazing people, my wife. The biggest heart in the world. The biggest heart in the world. Puts everybody before herself. Everybody. That was my hero next to my dad. Because I wanted to show for people how my wife does. She helped make me into the man that I am today.
He said they were headed into the house for a family dinner when lightning struck Sunday afternoon, killing his wife, Kenya Glasgow, and their 2-year-old daughter, Kennedy.
We saw that the rain was picking up, and we just said, hey, we got to get the girls inside. So just simple thing that anybody would do. Hey, put a blanket on their head, let's just get inside.
Kennedy, seen here with her twin sister, Kinsley.
It's going to crush my heart when she starts looking for her sister and her mom, but I mean, that's just something we just got to get used to.
Glasgow described Kennedy as infectious, could sing every word to Benson Boone.
It's gonna be tough to lose somebody that I've been with for half my life. It's gonna be tough, but I'll be okay because I have to be, because I have another beautiful daughter that's
sad. This is why I said we gotta be grateful every day, brothers and sisters, for the lives that we have, the Most High protecting our loved ones, our friends, our families. Look, his life was torn upside down from a freak accident. Lightning. Can you imagine? You trying to run inside for shelter from the storm, and that happens to you. You know, I pray for his family, and and his well-being. But like I was saying, when it comes to, let me read this real quick. Right? Here's what the Most High said, or what Christ said, excuse me. Matthew 24:7, it says, "For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places." Earthquakes. Extreme weather patterns, guys. Extreme weather patterns. And we've been experiencing that. And like I said, I was born and raised in New York. I have never seen the city of New York like this, where every time it rains, the streets flood. And this been happening as of late, within the last, I would say, 4 to 5 years. This is recent. This is brand new. I've never experienced flooding like this when I was, growing up. Never seen nothing like this, but look at this. New York streets turn into rivers as heavy storms unleash flash flooding. So and after the broadcast, I'm gonna go on Instagram to see what happened after the storm that happened today, because it was storming crazy today. But this was, mind you, this was last week Thursday, guys, when I was broadcasting. Look at this. I've never seen New York like this. Look at this. That's right there on Avenue I, right there in Brooklyn. This is Brooklyn. This doesn't make any sense. Look at the city. Look at this. She's stranded. Everybody driving past her can't even stop and help because they're not trying to get caught in that. It doesn't make any sense. Look at the highway. Look at the highway. They can't even move because it's a dang pool on the highway. I believe there's the Belt Parkway right here. It could either be the Belt Parkway or the BQE. I think it's the Belt Parkway. Look at this. Look at the firefighters. This is not normal for New York City. This is not normal. Like what happened here? Oh, he trying to do it. He trying to bust a U-turn on the highway. Where are you going? You're gonna have to sit there, brother. Look at this. This was last week Thursday, right? This was last week Thursday. This was last week Thursday. Look at this now. I gotta show y'all this. This happened last week Thursday when I was streaming. Look at this. And this is not, I remember growing up in school. I remember teachers telling me that we're safe from tornadoes living in the city, living in the 5 boroughs. Like tornadoes and stuff like that usually happen in the Midwest, out in the West, whatever the case is. you know, they were saying it's rare, super, super rare. You will never see a tornado in New York City. This is Long Island, borderline New York City. It's still in New York. A tornado touched down in New York. Brothers and sisters, this is not normal weather patterns that's happening right now. This is not normal. Nothing about this is normal. Even down to the weather that we was having for this summer. Nothing about the weather that we had this summer was normal.
Oh my God, it's pulling everything.
That's an actual tornado that happened right here.
Oh my God,
right outside the city of New York.
It's a tornado. That's really bad. We're filming it come right at me.
I ain't never seen nothing like this.
Tornado, no, it's just some lightning.
In all my years.
I hear it. That is a tornado. And oh my God, it is spinning around. This is insane. No, we might have to get downstairs, guys.
It's a real That's a real tornado that touched down on New York. It's not real. No, I mean, it is real. But in my mind, it doesn't seem real.
Oh my God.
Yes, in diverse places. Yep. You see it? Christ didn't lie. The scriptures don't lie.
It's ripping the tree. It's a tornado. That's really bad. We're filming it come right at me.
Christ don't lie.
It's a tornado. No, that's just some lightning there. This is a tornado. I hear it. That is a tornado. And oh my God, it is spinning around. This is insane.
Oh my gosh, it's spinning around.
Guys. Oh my God, it's pulling everything.
See? This is not normal weather patterns that we're experiencing. This is not normal weather patterns, guys. For nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. Christ said that this would happen. Christ told us. And these are the signs of the end. These are the end time signs. Speaking of end time signs. Speaking of end time signs, everybody please hit that like button on your way in. And as you can see, guys, we're talking about, so this is what the end times look like. We're actually living it. If you didn't understand, if you didn't believe, understand it. This actually happened yesterday. This happened in Nepal. It's like a city outside of China. Okay, the Nepalese people. I hope I'm saying it right. Nepalese people. Okay. So this happened. So they're on the border of China. This is what happened yesterday, guys. So according to reports, it was supposed to be some type of ice glacier that broke off from a mountain and created all of this devastation that we're going to witness right now. But I'm going to show y'all something. But this is really sad. Like all of these people just look at your screen. Look at all of these buses. Look, people trying to run. I don't think any of these people made it. I don't even think any of these people made it. Because the force and how quick these things, the water came, the water and the dirt and all of this stuff that came and rushed in on these people, the Most High had to have been with you if you made it out of this. Take a look at this. This is sad. This happened yesterday, guys.
This is the moment a flash flood tore through a Himalayan valley on Nepal's northern border.
Look at that.
Many running for their lives. A surging torrent smashing through buildings, vehicles, and
look at that. Look at the force. Look how even if you try to hide inside of a truck to try to get something, it ripped the force of the water and the rocks and the mud Look at the force of nature. This is why, when the Most High said, I create evils, this is one of the evils that he creates. But like I said, these are warnings. These are signs.
Many running for their lives. A surging torrent
All
smashing
of those
through buildings.
Matter of fact, I'm sorry for keep playing it back, but all of these people that you see that's running right here, you see all these people that are running? They got caught in this. All of these people got caught in this. This is why I say, it's the Most High that's hedging us, man.
Flash flood tore through
Look
a
at this.
Himalayan valley.
Look at all these
on
people.
Nepal's northern border.
Look at these people.
Many
There's nowhere for them to
running
go.
for their lives.
Nowhere for them to
surging
run.
torrent smashing through buildings, vehicles, and carrying people away.
Look at
Homes
this.
destroyed. Cars washed away. The raging water was too fast and too powerful for villages, roads, and bridges. The flood hit early on Wednesday in the mountainous Rawchaa region, just north of Nepal's capital, Kathmandu. There have been reports of damage in multiple valley towns, including a major border crossing hub.
My brother-in-law had a liquor store here. I got a call from him this morning and they were crying and said their entire house had been swept away. 3 family members were rescued, but his brother is still missing. I saw around 9 trucks being swept away by the floods, including people. It's a heartbreaking incident. I've been teaching here for 18 years and I've never seen anything like this before.
See, never seen nothing like this
Nepalese
before.
officials have
Look
warned
at that.
of a huge-scale loss.
Look how much water is rushing in.
Chinese President Xi Jinping urged for an all-out search for the missing.
Exactly. Michelle says, a piece of ice did all of this. I'm going to show y'all another video, and it's going to make a lot of sense.
As well as stronger monitoring and early warning systems to prevent more disasters. It ended almost as quickly as it began.
Somebody says, Midnight Meditation says, gives us a glimpse of the flood during Noah's time. And yeah, this don't even do justice to what was going on during Noah's time. Can you imagine what that joint looked like?
But now, what is set to be a long search and rescue operation is just getting started.
So they still searching and looking for people. Okay, they still searching and looking for people. Let me show y'all this now. What's this? No, not you. Let me show y'all this. I've seen this and I was like, hold up. Hold up. Is this it? So look. Let me show y'all this. So they said a glacier from the mountains broke off and created this this flood, this mudslide. But look at this. The floods in Nepal were caused by an act of sabotage caused by a what? By the bombing by the F-16, a fighter jet. Look at this. That's how all that water came rushing in. Look at all of that water rushing in. Look at this. That's how it happened. Supposedly, allegedly. Huh? Look at this. So they did it in slow motion. Hold on. You see the fighter jet. Hold on, play back. See the fire jet come? Look at that. And I bet you they weren't expecting somebody to be recording this. Look at all of the water coming in now. There goes your glacier. All of these people swept away. You can't stop the force of this water. You're not going to be able to. Hold on, this sound is mad annoying. Sorry. I just want to play the video. Look at this. It was a dam that was holding. Look, the person recording this, I hope they of course, I think they made it out because this video was out, but the water came all the way up there. So the people down there didn't stand a chance. The people down there, they didn't even stand a chance. They did not stand a chance. Matter of fact, I got another video I want to play too. Let me put this here. Look, more devastation. You see? Look at that. Look at all that. This is a glacier. This is water coming in that was being held from the dam. Somebody asked what country was this? This is Nepal. The country is called Nepal. Neighboring country right next door to China. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that. Look at the water breaking. Oh my goodness. You can't mess with nature, man. That's a force. Look at this. See, Nepal and Tibet. Look at this. This look like a glacier. This is water rushing in. They were saying it was a mudslide. They were saying it was a mudslide. This is straight water coming through. Look at these poor people, man. They did not stand a chance. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Nothing you could have did to stop this. Nothing you could have did to get out the way. And they want to call this weather patterns. Can you imagine how scared these people are right now? Look at this. You see this thing coming towards you? And that is not normal to happen.
Live यो चाहिँ है गाइस यस्तो लाइभ छ ओहो
Look at all those homes being affected. We just seen this one. This is another view of, look at these people. There's nothing they could have done to get out of the way. All of those people, look, they could have done, look, nothing they could have done. Nothing they could have done to get out the way. Look, this is the aftermath. This is the aftermath. People, homes, businesses buried. This is all part of what Christ said would happen in diverse places. But I also heard that there was I think shortly before it there was an earthquake. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that they probably engineered, because they do have these HARP weapons and these systems to engineer these things. They probably could have done that as a cover, supposedly, allegedly. I'm not saying that's what happened. And then as you've seen those in the video, you see a fighter jet come, you know, explodes explodes the dam, and all of that water come rushing in. All those people's lives affected. Okay. This is where we at. This is where we at, guys. And if you don't believe this is the end times, where we're seeing all of this devastation, all of this going on all at once, guys, I really don't know what to tell y'all. You can't see this happening. You can't, as a human being, see this happening and think that everything that we just witnessed today that I showed y'all is normal activity. Everything we've seen today is beyond normal. Is paranormal at this point. Okay? This is paranormal, the activity that we're seeing today, that we're experiencing in these last times. And guess what? We ain't see nothing yet. We didn't see nothing yet, because the scripture tells us that men's hearts will fail them, the things that we're going to start to see. Right? Hold on. Right? Where am I? Why did this pop up? We didn't see anything yet. Hold on. Let me see if I could pull. No, that's not it. I'm gonna let me pull up this next article. Right? Look at this. And some of y'all probably heard about this too. What's happening? Make the screen bigger. U.S. beef recall, and this is going into the engineer famine and all of that as well too. Thank you, Ahaya, for the super chat. Bless you. U.S. beef recall. Nearly 30,000 pounds of Argentinian beef pulled amid Trump's import push. So why was those pieces of beef recalled? 300K metric tons won't fill beef appetite. So apparently the U.S. is trying to import 300,000 metric tons of beef. From where, though? You see? From where? Matter of fact, this is the article right here. I'm going to play this video. This video will better explain it. He explains it better than I can.
So I told you Trump was lying about...
Hold on. Let me play it back.
So I told you Trump was lying.
All right, great. Hold on. So look. Pay attention to what's going on here. Pay attention to what he's about to say concerning this import of beef. But when you read the article, it's not going to be all beef. It's basically the scraps. Matter of fact, let me go back to that article real quick. Let me show y'all. So it says here, President Donald Trump has unveiled a plan to import 300,000 more metric tons of beef starting in 100,000 ton increments, starting September 1st, which is actually next week. They're going to start importing this beef. But we just seen this article right here that said that 30,000 pounds was just recalled. Like, yo, we don't want those. So it says the plan applies only. So look, see, I'm reading from here. It says the plan only applies only to lean beef trimmings. Okay, which according to the beef industry mostly winds up in ground beef. So it's looking like they're trying to sway people from using ground beef. So according to this article, according to what the beef industry is saying, it's not going to be like your steaks, okay, like your ribeyes and all of that stuff and your burgers, or if they're using ground beef to make your burgers, that's probably what they're going to use. But they're going to be using the beef trimmings, and they usually use the trimmings to turn it into ground beef. So this is what basically they're saying it's going to be used for. Supposedly, allegedly, right? So let's look here.
Lying about finding 300 tons of beef out there to import. I told you he was lying. So let's do a little quick math with me. This is Old Texas Paul. Hope your coffee's as good as mine. Hell, I hope it's better. I really do. Do this math with me. If you take and make nothing but hamburger, we're not talking sirloins, we're not talking ribeyes, we're not talking ribs, we're not talking brisket, nothing. With nothing but hamburger, a head of cattle will yield about 500 pounds of hamburger. Yeah. So 500 pounds of hamburger, that's 4 head per ton. Right? He said 300,000 tons. Okay, 300,000 times 4 is 1.2 million head of cattle. Find me the country that's got 1.2 million head of excess cattle that they can go ahead and process and send to the United States of America.
Yeah, where's it coming from?
Not what they've got in the system that's already being exported and all that. No, this is extra. 1.2 million extra pounds of cattle that they've got. And I will tell you, that country doesn't exist. Not even the United States of America. We do not have 1.2 million extra head of cattle and standing around in the fields. We don't. So, where's that beef going to come from? I found it. Started looking at rejected beef.
Rejected.
Yeah. There's about 300 tons of rejected beef sitting in South America right now. It's too poor quality to go to China.
China rejected it.
Yeah. So I told you Trump was lying about
See that?
300 tons of beef out there.
So it's not Trump. China actually rejected the beef that South America was trying to send to China. China was like, nah, we don't want it because there's an article that I read where a lot of the pesticides that they were shooting up in these cattle, China have banned those pesticides. The pesticides and the what else call it, the antibiotics, whatever they're injecting into these cows, into the meat. China has banned those products from their country. And if those products are banned, but it's found in your meat, why are you sending it to me? I don't want it. But the U.S. is like, yo, we'll take it. I'll take it. So that's the meat that they're sending starting. They said, supposedly they're going to start it September 1st. They're going to start sending those products here. But according to that article, is only talking about beef trimmings, which translates to what? Ground beef. So the trimmings, they usually turn the trimmings into ground beef. So, you know, is up to you if you want to stay away from ground beef for a while. But there's certain you can find certain brands. There was a brand that I was looking at, and I seen I think I'm gonna put it on the screen, that I'm gonna start buying. But the brand of beef that I usually buy, I don't really have a problem with them. And it's not imported, it's grown here in the US.
Beef out there.
What? You still talking? Where is it? It's from this company. I think you could find them. I think you could find some of their products in Target, I believe. Butcher Box. So you could, I think they sell them individually, packs of beef, right, from this company, right? So you want to take a look at this company. I'm not even getting paid by this company, you know, to endorse them or whatever the case is. They're not giving me no. I should. Y'all should be paying me to endorse it, but this is good beef right here, right? So I mean, if you know, for the time being, for a couple of months, if you want to stay away from ground beef, you know, I highly suggest that, because we really don't know what they're doing. And that goes to show that there is something going on with, you know, with our produce here, with our food system. We don't have enough cattle to feed the American people. What's going on here? And then I read this earlier. Let me read it again. Most High said this. Oh no, matter of fact, I did not read it. This is a good time to read it now. Look, let me put this on the screen, because we spoke about this on this channel as well too, that eventually there will be a famine. And I believe that it's going to be an engineered famine. But we know the Most High is in control of all of the famines. Even to the time when Joseph was in Egypt, he gave Joseph he sent the dream to the king, and only Joseph was able to interpret it. And through that dream, he was able to save all of Egypt and all of the surrounding countries during that time. How to evade the famine. Could we be experiencing that when we gotta import beef from a country where other countries is actually rejecting that beef? This is the book of Jeremiah 50 and 35. Look, the Most High said what? A sword is upon the Chaldeans, saith the Lord. A sword. And for those who don't know what a Chaldean is, let me put it on the screen. Let me scroll down. I hope it don't. Yeah, it's cutting off. But I'm gonna fix that so you guys will be able to see it as well too. But a Chaldean, they were known as what? Astrologers. They were known as astrologers. So the ancient Babylonians would use their astrologers to tell the time. And this is what actually helped them be a thriving nation. Or at that point in time, they were a thriving nation. They had seers and all type of sorcery. Same system that this actual administration used as well too. Ain't nothing new under the sun. All right. They have seers as well too. Here in America. That's why the Most High said a sword is upon the Chaldeans, children of the astrologers, saith the Lord, and upon the inhabitants of Babylon, and upon her princes, and upon her wise men. A sword, see, and upon their wise men. Where are their wise men? There's a sword upon them. It's to the point where their wise men are being muzzled by people who are under the stupor. They can't even properly get a definition of what is a man or what is a woman, or can a man give birth? Like, what kind of question is that? Where's your wise men to help you decipher that? So the Most High said, what? There is a sword upon her wise men. A sword is upon the liars, and they shall dote. A sword is upon her mighty men, and they shall be dismayed. Confusion. Listen, the Most High don't miss a beat. Confusion upon confusion in these last times. A sword is upon their horses, and upon their chariots, and upon all the mingled people that are in the midst of her. Spot on what we're reading right now. And they shall become as women. A sword is upon her treasures. What's that? What does that equate to? Their finances. It's dollar. We already know the American dollar is weakening right now. Countries all over the earth is walking away from the US dollar. The Most High said there's a sword upon her treasures. And they shall be what? Robbed. Listen, we can't make this stuff up. For years, they've been siphoning money out of the country under felonious names of organizations and receiving grants to fund stuff that don't make any sense. They were studying butterflies in Germany. The Most High said, a sword is upon her treasures, and they shall be robbed. We can't make this stuff up even if we try, guys. A drought is upon her waters, and they shall be dried up. For it is the land of graven images, and they are mad upon their idols. And we was talking about this last week with the data centers. How there's actually right now a shortage of water. And they're saying that these data centers that they're building, okay, they require a lot of water to even run them. But certain scientists have even come out and said that the data centers don't even need water to power them. They could use something else. But they're storing this is what they're saying, allegedly, supposedly, under the data centers, okay, are underground caverns of cities that are being they're storing fresh drinking water there. And they will use it to charge people for drinkable water. You think that's not coming? A drought is upon her waters, the Most High said, and they shall be dried up. For it is the land of graven images, and they are mad upon their idols. Therefore the wild beasts of the desert with the wild beasts of the islands shall dwell there. And the owls shall dwell therein, and it shall be no more inhabited forever. Neither shall it be dwelt in from generation unto generation. As God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah, and the neighbor cities thereof, saith the Lord, so shall no man abide there, neither shall any son of man dwell therein. So this is what eventually will take place in the daughter of Babylon. Because as we can see clearly, there are people that are still living where ancient Babylon is. Ancient Mesopotamia, which is known as right now as modern day Iraq. Those areas right there was where ancient Babylon was. Mesopotamia. Okay? And as we can check and we can fact check it, There are people that is living on that side of the earth right now, still being inhabited. But this prophecy was a prophecy not just for what happened at ancient Babylon, but for future Babylon, which is known as the daughter of Babylon. A drought is upon her waters. Food not gonna be coming in like it used to. We gotta and don't y'all know that everything that we have here in the U.S. comes through a ship? The U.S. we barely manufacture anything here on this soil. Majority of our goods are outsourced, are being shipped in. So what happens when everybody decides, yo, let's cut her off? You want to put sanction on us? All right, fine. Y'all ain't gonna get no goods now. We'll just trade each other on this side of the world, and y'all figure it out. Who's to say that can't happen? You think the counter tariffs is not what we're experiencing, what we could see right now, what could happen in the near future? Right now, the newest battles between the U.S. and Canada. And Canada is like, all right, we'll just match your tariffs from what you give it, what you putting on us. The same amount of tariffs you put on us, we're gonna put on you too. What's stopping the rest of the world from doing the same thing to this place? And as you can see on the news, it's every country against this place. Most High don't miss a beat. The Most High don't miss a beat. So if you didn't know what it looked like to live in the end times, welcome. Now you knew. Now you do. Now you can clearly see what it looks like to live in the end times, because we're living it. And if you didn't think so before, you need to think again. And if you didn't, and if you was asleep before, hopefully you are wide awake. And maybe some of you may have to rewatch this again. Maybe you might have to rewatch this again to convince yourself. You're not going to be able to slap yourself in the face and be like, it's just a bad dream, because you're living it. You're living it. Okay? You are living it. Hold on. Right? You are living it. Romans 13:11. And knowing that, knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer. You see that? It's important for us to wake out of sleep right now, because now our salvation is nearer than when we first heard this truth, from when we first believed. And the Most High does a good job confirming that by showing us these signs day after day, month after month. He's confirming in us like, yo, we're closer to Christ's return. We're closer to the end of this thing. So this is the reason why it is high time. The time is heightened for us to be awakened out of sleep. And that sleep is spiritual sleep. It's a spiritual slumber. That sleep is also related to distractions. Being distracted from what's really happening. And this world has done a great job in entertaining the useless eaters. Give them bread and circus. Give them entertainment. Give them all of the distractions so that way they can't see it coming. They won't be able to prepare. And if you can't prepare, guess whose mercy you're under? You're under their mercy now. You're gonna need them because you didn't prepare. So now whatever they implement, whatever they throw out there, you're gonna have to fall right in line because you didn't prepare. You was too busy with the circus. You was too busy being in the business of celebrities. Watching their every move, knowing what they doing, what they wear, what they buying, concerned with them. Who's getting married to? Who cares about these people? I don't. What? I'm gonna spend all my energy following and searching what these people are doing when I have my own life to live. I have my own family to take care of. But this world has made it where it's so appealing, and it grabs your attention through your eyes, and now your flesh is feeding into it. And you spent your whole life strengthening your flesh, so your spirit ain't got no chance to fight against the flesh now. So everything you see, you gotta consume it, because you didn't put your spirit in the gym, spiritual gym, to be able to discern and to fight off and to ward off the flesh. Now you a slave to sin. That's how it works. So it is the time, guys, brothers and sisters. It is the time now to stop, to take do an inventory check. Like, yo, is everything all right in my home? If the Most High was to take me today, am I going to the right place? And if you can't answer that in confidence, you need to stop what you're doing and rethink and repent. Okay? Repent. You was following the world. The world is not making no sense. It's not working. All right, let me try God now. Let me see what the Most High is saying. Let me open up this book. Matter of fact, I need somebody to show me. I need somebody to teach me. Because that's what happened to us. We all realize that something was not right with the world. Something was not right with our lives. I'm like, all right, I got to find a teacher. We found teachers. The Most High gave us teachers that opened up our minds. Like, oh wow, this is what's happening. And for some of you guys who's probably watching this right now for the first time, this is happening to you right now. Your mind is being enlightened. You had no clue that these were the signs of the end times. Now you do. And now the ball is in your court. What you do with it is what matters. Either you're going to turn the ball over, or you're going to try to get to the cup and try to score. It's up to you. I don't know about y'all, but I'm trying to put up 30, 40 even. That's for all my people who play basketball. Yeah, D can get down. I'll show you a thing or two. D can get down. But, all right. Listen. It's high time, guys. It is high time.
You could be anywhere in the world, but you're now tuned into the Born of Levi experience.
It's my time. I thank y'all for coming in. I appreciate this broadcast, and this was a well-needed broadcast, man. We let me clap it up for the Most High. Let me clap it up. What am I doing? Clap it up for the Most High. Salute to everybody who came in. I thank you guys for hitting the like button, participating, all of the comments, all of the super chats. Salute to you all. Thank you for all that you guys do, right? But like all good things, this good thing must also come to an end. Yes. That's my time. I gave y'all a solid close to 3 hours. I'm past the time. I usually try to keep it at 2 hours. You know, I don't want to, like, you know, everybody's attention span is like, you know, try to keep it to a minimum. But praise the Most High, all this information came out, and I pray that it was edifying to everybody who watched, and it was well received, and that we all can now fine tune our thinking and continue to stay focused, stay the course, understand what we're dealing with, and let us work accordingly towards our salvation. Christ told us, he who endures unto the end, the same shall be saved. And listen, we all working in the same vineyard, working for the same penny. That's the agreement. Like Christ gave the parable, or not Christ, but how Paul said it, we all must be careful on how we build on the foundation that was already laid. There's some people who's going to use hay. Some people's going to use stubble. Some people's going to use gold or silver. But the day will reveal what you was using. Eventually, it's going to, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be revealed what you chose to use to build. Everything will be revealed. So, brothers and sisters, take these broadcasts, take these conversations to help aid you on your walk, to help give you that extra fuel and that push to want to do better. Don't just listen to these words and like, oh, that's a good word that brother talking about something. Yeah, that's true too. Yeah. Nah, take these words and put them into action. That's what the words is given for. That's what the scriptures is given for. To take them and to put it and apply it into action. That's the only way we're going to make it. Right? So with that being said, guys, I appreciate you guys coming in. Thank you all for all that you do. Have a great night. Have a blessed night. Have a blessed day tomorrow as well, too, as everybody prep. As we coming into a new season, we're coming into a new feast, a new marker in our walk, right? We got to continue to pray that the Most High guides us and protect us through whatever is coming on this earth, because it's coming. None of us are stopping it. We just seen clear examples of what the Most High said will come on the earth. We're living it. So we must live through it, but understand that it's here and operate around it. So guys, stay protected, right? For those of you guys who I may not see, or a lot of you guys I'm not going to see it during the weekend, happy Feast of Trumpets, right? And have a blessed Feast of Trumpets to everybody who's going to be celebrating, whether it's going to be at home or at the church, right? Have a blessed feast. And if it be the Lord's will, I will see you all next week. If it be the Lord's will. Oh, matter of fact, next week I will be doing the part 2. I believe it should be next week. It should be next week. I will be doing the part 2 of reasoning, the reasoning lesson. Let me see. I mean, look at my calendar. You know, I'm getting old. I got to look at my calendar now. I never used to have to do that before. Yes, because that's crazy. Next week is the last week before we head out to Tabernacles. Yeah, so I'm going to be bringing that lesson to you guys next week. Look out for that. Stay tuned for that. Reasoning part 2. But bless you all. I love you all. Stay prayed up. Sin not. Keep your eyes open. Watch and pray ye there always, as we see the signs and see the day approaching, right? Bless you all. Have a good night. Stay safe. And if it be the Lord's will, I'll see you all next week. Have a blessed feast. Shalom. Shalom. Peace. Good night.